Hello everyone, welcome back to Amazing Fragrances. I am Simone and we are in 2025, folks. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Actually, starting the second week of 2025 in January. And we have been experiencing just beautiful weather here. As you guys know, I'm in the UAE, I'm in Abu Dhabi. And I thought I'd give you a little different view now here where I film in my room. I wanted you guys to see what my outside view looks like of downtown here. And we're just having wonderful, wonderful weather. I'm just so happy finally the weather has changed. But I wanted to talk to you today about some of my journeys working and visiting different countries, and just the importance of smelling wonderful and what that I feel has gotten me over the course of the years. So now I think fragrance can significantly influence how people perceive you, how they treat you, and how they feel towards you. I wanted to share a couple of my experiences, just my travels overseas and some of the fragrances that I was wearing at the time. And also probably just going back to where it all began, I guess, for me. So I remember back in high school, I had a beautiful friend named Leah. And Leah used to wear a perfume that is no longer in production. They don't make it any longer. But every day she walked in and she just looked so put together, just so pretty. And folks, we were in the 9th grade, right? She always wore dresses. She always had her makeup looking impeccable. But I always remembered how she smelled. And I had to finally ask her, Leah, what are you wearing? You smell so good. And it was, which I have a bottle of, if you can believe it. Now this bottle is old, folks, but I still have it. And it is Gucci No. 1. It is the original Gucci No. 1 Eau de Parfum. And it looks like this. It's in a very distinctive, it's got the Gucci colors. I don't know if I think that might be showing up backwards here. Sorry, folks, I'm using my iPhone today. But she wore this every day, and folks, they don't make it anymore. Actually, you have to get these bottles on eBay or from a private seller. Gucci No. 1 smells unlike anything I've ever smelled in my life. It leaves a scent trail, it's beautiful. Leah smelled like this. She would walk in the science class and she'd go behind me and she would just walk in with the trail of Gucci No. 1. Now, folks, don't you know this used to be sold at a department store in the US called JCPenney's. There's a few JCPenney's I think that are left, but I think they're getting ready to close down or shut down. JCPenney's used to sell this with the body cream for $29.99. And do you know now, of course, if you go on eBay and try to get it, usually I see a lot of people selling the little tiny 5 ml bottles, and I'm always wondering, where are they getting this from? Because I know they don't make it anymore. But it used to be $29.99, folks. eBay, I think maybe if you're lucky, you'll get it under $60. And then the bottle will look kind of like cognac like this. It's actually supposed to be a little bit lighter. It's got a lighter color, like almost see-through. So that's how I know, and that's how you know this is a very old bottle. This bottle is over 20 years old. I still have it, and guess what? It still smells amazing. Leah smelled like this every day, and my memory of her is how she smelled like this every day. I'm still in touch with her on Facebook. And Leah, I just want you to know, girl, that you smelled wonderful in high school. So moving on, that was years ago, folks. I'm talking somewhere 35 years ago. So moving on to my next overseas, my first overseas travels that I ever did for work. I visited Mexico City, and I was there for a little bit, and I remember some of the perfumes that I wore while there I was really heavily into Ultima UII. It was a sheer scent, and I forgot who made it. I think it was the Ultima, maybe the Ultima brand, Ultima II brand, but here's a picture of it right here. It's literally out of production. Very, very amazing scent. It's very, it's like a green floral citrusy scent. but it is absolutely amazing. I've never smelled anything like that again. And folks, why is it always the good scents that go out of production? I don't know what these companies think. You know, Gucci went out of production with #1, then they had #3, and then they had all these other Gucci Floral and Gucci Envy and all this other stuff. Nothing compares to the original Gucci. Nothing compares to this Ultima II. It's called U2. Here it is again. I used to wear that, and I remember I would get up walking from my hotel to work, and I'd always pass this one stand where this lady was selling, I don't know what she was selling. They were kind of like little Mexican tortas. I think they were like tortas for breakfast in the morning. And I guess she finally got up the nerve to come over to me and ask me, you know, ay, se huele muy bien, you know, ¿cómo es? ¿Qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso huele? You know, ¿qué es su perfume? And in Spanish. And I would tell her, oh, you know, yo tengo como dos cosas, you know, dos perfumes que yo tengo. Que, you know, every day I wore maybe 2 or 3 perfumes, but it was Ultima II. And the other one, I believe they still make it. It's by Greece, and it's called Cabotin. Cabotin is beautiful, folks. It is your early, I think it goes back to the early 90s, possibly older than that. But Cabotin right here, I used to mix that with the Ultima II, and those two had that lady at least walking to my job smelling, she said I smelled increíble. And I was like, wow, muchas gracias, you know, and I knew then, these two combos are just amazing. But Ultima II by itself smells wonderful. Now folks, on eBay, as all out of production perfumes, that one is, I think, upwards of $200 if you can get your hands on it. I just kind of refuse to pay that kind of money now, because that bottle, folks, back in the day was maybe $25, but that's how good it smells. Oh my goodness, yes. So, moving on, I had a coworker that, I think this was also Mexico City, Lourdes. Now Lourdes was an older lady, always dressed impeccable, just looked so beautiful, pretty, makeup, everything just looked like she was getting ready to go do a photo shoot. Lourdes smelled like impossibly beautiful. I didn't think anyone could smell that good. She smelled better than me, okay? And I'm just giving her props because that's how she smelled. Lourdes used to wear this perfume right here. This is called Miss Balmain. I believe it's by the Balmain house. Balmain, House of Balmain. I don't know if they make it anymore, folks, but this is a very, very strong, it's a strong, ambery, it's got floral scents in it, but it's a beautiful, it will leave a trail. It stays on your clothes. It's one of those, before it was famous, I guess, or popular to have those really strong, powerful, you know, I have arrived kind of scents. That's what she wore. And even though she was an older lady then, it didn't matter. Anybody could wear that. I immediately went out and bought it, and I think I paid, back then, this was the early 2000s, I paid close to, I think my bottle was almost $200, and I thought that was absolutely ridiculous, right, compared to what we pay now for fragrance. But Miss Balmain smelled so good on her. I swear I remember just leaning into her one day and just taking a big sniff, kind of like you know, just leaned into her, and she thought that was so hilarious because it was just so pretty. I mean, it smelled like a beautiful floral bouquet of ambery. I want to say it was amber goodness. And it kind of got you on the line. I want to say Clinique's, I can't think of it right now, but I'll put the bottle up here, folks, if I think of it. It smelled like Clinique, is it Elixir? It's that really strong, just everything, probably more than 5 or 10 ingredients in it that just smells so, so nice. I don't even know if they make Miss Balmain anymore. Do they make Miss Balmain, folks? Do you have that? Well, she smelled amazing, so I wanted to share that one with you as well. So moving on now, another country I visited and I stayed for a little bit was in Moscow, Russia. And back in the day when I was in Moscow, I remember it always being, you know, so cold every time I went. And it was one in particular time. I remember I went, and it was kind of coming closer to the end of my stay. And one of the little ladies, one of the Russian ladies where I worked, I remember her telling me, I don't even know how we got on the subject. I think she just asked me, or she told me, you always smell so nice. You always smell so nice. And I told her, oh, thank you, you know, and then I was gonna tell her what I wore, right? And do you know she beat me to it? This is what I wore, folks, right here. That's Terry Mugler's Angel, the original Angel that's in the pretty star-shaped, kind of lays down, it doesn't stand up, lays down bottle. And you can get the refillable bottle. I remember I had so many of those bottles. You could actually go to any department store and they would refill it for you for lesser than what you paid. Angel smells just like what it's called. You smell like an angel. Unbelievably beautiful. It kind of puts you in that the strong sense of kind of like the Estee Lauder's knowing, but it's got a unique scent. And then when it calms down, you leave trails behind you of just something so beautiful, so beautiful. And I wore that a lot while I was there. And that lady knew what it was. And it was so funny because she told me at the time, she goes, yes, it is very expensive. It is very expensive. I know $100. And I was like, oh, wow, you know how much it costs too? And they actually sold it there, actually in Moscow. I would go from time to time, I can't remember the store, but I would walk on the main drag that led up to the Moskva River and in the city. And I would stop at this very posh, very expensive looking store that had perfumes, and they had a perfume section, they had a bakery section. It was kind of like a little everything section. And I would get that perfume all the time. I would need a refill. So I think I might have needed 3 bottles probably during all my time while I stayed there. But Angel, if you have never tried it, and it also comes in a cream, and the cream lotion, the body cream is amazing. It will leave you, oh my God, I think the longevity of it for the body lotion and then combined with the perfume alone will stay on your skin at least 4 hours, right? Without a spritz. On your clothes all day. Body lotion's gonna stay on all day. We're talking 8 to 10 hours, the body lotion. And it's like a creamy, velvety, it kind of puts you in the frame of Fenty body lotion as well. It's kind of like literally like a buttercream. So it keeps you hydrated. It makes your hands look beautiful. Folks, I might have to go out and buy me some more Terry Mugler body cream just thinking about it, because I used to wear the body cream as well. So I smelled just that wonderful all the time when I was in Moscow. So those are the 4 fragrances that I wanted to share with you during some of my journeys that I've had while overseas. And I think just the impact of fragrance alone on you and the memories that people remember of you with what you wear. Do you have a fragrance that you've worn? Leave a comment below and let me know what you've worn that you feel has made an impact in your life or just on others, and what you've heard back, your feedback from wearing that fragrance. What has it done in your life? Share with us. I'd like to know, and so with other viewers too in the community. In the meantime, here's another video for you, and I'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.